Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone this morning? So, I'm about to go get my coffee, but I just had to make this video really quick and fast because there's some things going on in the world. And about the discussion of domestic violence, and we all know who the media is circling around, who the gossip bloggers are talking about, who TMZ is talking about. We all know who they are talking about, the two people that they are discussing right now. Now, my thing is, I made an observation on someone's post about, let me turn off this because this is going to interrupt me. So I made an observation on someone's post about domestic violence and the possibility of, the scenario rather, of men fighting women or women fighting men. And my whole view around it is, so anyhow, the person said, oh, you don't even talk about domestic violence. But I do. If you go on my page, into my bio, you will see that I have a whole digital course involving family dysfunction. One of those dysfunctions happens to be domestic violence. I have a whole book about different traits that family dysfunctions may reveal within itself. So yes, I do talk about domestic violence. No, I don't do it every day. Why? Because I been there, did that. And domestic violence and being involved in dysfunction is a matter of recognizing it, understanding it, and acknowledging it, then moving on with your life, okay? Like I did. I wouldn't be in the position I am today if I continue to wallow and accept dysfunction within my life. So I did the part. I healed myself. I learned to recognize and understand the different traits and attributes that domestic violence stem from. And I did enough to get myself out of that situation and to perhaps, hopefully, through the grace of God, prevent my children from having to experience the same thing. So no, I may not talk about domestic violence on a daily basis on my page. I like to talk about how it all connects. You cannot grow and be who God wants you to be if you wallow in dysfunction and domestic violence. Okay? So once you deal with that, and once you understand that, and once you heal yourself, then you are able to move on and do other things in your life, like start businesses and perhaps write a few books and things of that nature, and be an inspiration and a positive influence in other folks' lives. You know, God has blessed me with many talents. I don't have to just focus on one thing. I have multiple talents. And as long as God instilled those in me, I am going to express those talents as needed. So one of the things I think God put in my life as a child was experiencing dysfunction. And as bad as I thought that was, and as much as I thought that was one of the most horrific times in my life, once I came full circle, I was able to understand that somebody needed to understand how it happened, why it happened, who it happened to, why it continuously happens, and that somebody needed to make a change. So I took that role and I ran with it. I was the person to understand the happenings behind dysfunction. I was the person to regurgitate that to my other siblings and people in my family and my children, in an effort that they can understand what dysfunction was also and how not to get involved in it. So I think there's a double standard when it comes to women fighting men and men fighting women. You know, we want to be equal in all aspects of our lives. But some of us wants it to be okay when the woman does something to a man. You know, someone said, you know, if a woman just slaps a man, that's no cause for that man to shoot the woman. Well, the hell it is. The hell it ain't. You know, domestic violence is domestic violence. I've seen women beat the shit out of some men. Little timid men that had no recourse, couldn't defend themselves. And I've seen men beat the shit out of women. Women who lied to the police, women who hid in the house and said nothing happened, don't worry about it, and let things roll. And then they continue to happen because why? You chose not to protect yourself and tell on that person. So I don't want to hear that mess about, oh, if a woman just slaps a man, that's no reason for him to shoot her. Self-defense is self-defense on either one's part. Y'all have to stop having that one-sided mindset, like it's okay for women to commit certain acts of dysfunction and display toxicity, and it's all cool. But when a man does it, you want to hold him to the highest accountability ever. I feel like if a woman is fighting a man and doing a man dirty, she should be held accountable just like if the man is doing it to the woman. So yes, I speak about family dysfunction and domestic violence. No, I don't do it every day because I have evolved. I will occasionally do a post, you know. I have this course, if you need it, check it out. I have this book, if you need it, check it out. But I also have a business and I have other things going on in my life. And for many of you, you can't be convinced to get the help that you need anyway. You will rather sit there and defend dumb shit rather than getting help. So that's how it turns out. You get what you deal with. Point blank period. You get what you deal with. And I chose not to deal with it. So now I'm able to deal with more inspirational parts of my aspects of my life. I'm able to deal with and flourish in my relationships, in my businesses, in my family life, things of that nature. So yeah, when you get yourself situated and get yourself some help and do some self-healing and some self-introspect, then you too can evolve and do different shit in your life, okay? So I'm just saying, you know, fair is fair. We as women want to be fair, want to be held, you know, want to be protected. But guess what? We have to learn to protect ourselves first. We cannot keep protecting the abuser. Now, for me, I find it mighty strange for someone who shot someone twice not to be held accountable, not to have an aggravated assault charge brought against them. Why is that? That's a question you may want to ask yourself. Because I can tell you one thing, if someone shoots me in the foot twice for no reason at all, yeah, I'm going to the police, arrest his ass, aggravated assault. But if I was the culprit, if I caused that, if I jumped on a man and started beating the shit out that man, and then in retaliation that man decided to shoot me, he has every right to do that, people. Come on now. Y'all acting real slow on this app. Y'all better wake up and stop protecting men and stop doing foolishness that's going to give you a bad name. If you don't want your rep to be ruined, if you don't want people to see you as an abuser, don't abuse folks. And that goes for both men and women. Women have been known to emasculate men throughout history. Men have been known to beat the shit out of women through history. But until you change that and check yourself, you're going to keep doing it. And some of y'all are so used to it, that's why y'all protecting it and saying, oh, it's okay, it's okay. You know it's not okay. It's not okay on either one's part. That's dysfunction. That's some learned behavior that you need to go fix. Don't get mad at the messenger. Get mad at the dysfunctional cycles that keep repeating themselves. Okay? So, y'all have a wonderful Tuesday, is it? Be blessed. Stop the cycles. Okay? Really, stop the cycles.